At $0, a $35 overdraft fee can ruin your entire week. At $1,000, it's just annoying. At $10,000, it's forgettable. At $100,000, you barely notice it. At $1 million, you never even see it. At $10 million, someone else quietly handles it for you. At $100 million, the bank waives it before it ever happens. And at $1 billion, the bank is afraid to charge you at all. The fee never changed. $35 the whole way up. The system never changed. Only your position inside it did. This is the story of that position. Every single floor of it, from the very bottom to the very top. So let's start at the bottom. Let's start at 0. Level 1, 0, just nothing in the account. And it has read that way for longer than you'd say out loud. Payday lands and it's gone by Tuesday. Rent, the phone, the card you're scared to open. You don't budget here. You triage, gas or groceries, the light bill or the copay. And here's what nobody warns you about at 0. Being broke is expensive. A $4 mistake becomes a $35 overdraft, then a cascade of fees you never agreed to. The tire you can't replace blows on the highway and costs you triple. The system charges a tax for having no cushion, and it collects first automatically every single time. The climb doesn't begin the day the money shows up. It begins the day you decide you will not pay this tax twice. Level 2, $1,000. It sits in the account, and for the first time, the number doesn't flinch every time you breathe. $1,000 isn't wealth. It's a shock absorber. The tire blows, and now it's an annoyance instead of a catastrophe. And something quiet starts to change in how you think. You make better decisions because you finally can. You buy the bigger pack because it's cheaper per unit. A move you literally could not afford at 0. You wait for the sale instead of needing it today. You let the overdue bill go to the one that charges no late fee first. The fine print of this floor, the first 1,000 doesn't buy you things. It buys you the end of the poverty tax. The moment the system stops punishing you just for being poor. It's a small number, it feels enormous, and it's your first hard proof that the staircase is real and that you're already standing one step higher than you were. Level 3, $10,000. 3, maybe 4 months of survival. Sitting quietly in savings. The fear that used to live in your chest goes silent, and you sleep differently, all the way through the night. You take the job you actually want instead of the one you're desperate for, because now you could survive the gap between them. You can be brave on purpose, maybe for the first time, but there's a trap built into this floor, and almost everyone steps straight into it. The raise comes, and your life quietly expands to swallow it. A nicer apartment, faster everything, subscriptions you forget you're paying. The gap between what you earn and what you keep stays exactly the same. You just feel busier. The fine print here. Lifestyle creep is invisible because it always arrives disguised as a reward. The people who climb past this floor aren't smarter or luckier. They're simply the ones who let the raise land. And don't move. Hold still, and the next step rises to meet you. Level 4. 6 figures, $100,000. And it's the loneliest number on the staircase because nobody can see it. You drive the same car, you live in the same place. From the outside, you look identical to level 2. The ones quietly building real wealth are invisible, and that's exactly the point. But here's what actually changes on this floor. Your money starts making money. $100,000 parked in a boring index fund throws off a few $1,000s a year doing absolutely nothing. The first dollar you ever earned in your sleep. This is where you stop being only a worker and quietly become an owner. And once you felt a dollar arrive while you were sleeping, you can never look at your paycheck the same way again. Level 5, $500,000. The math tilts. In a good month, your investments now move more than your paycheck does. Your money is starting to out-earn you. You catch yourself checking a balance instead of a banking app. You think in years now, not in weeks, because for the first time, you are certain there will be years you planned for, not just months you survived. And the system notices the shift before you do. Suddenly, there's a relationship manager who knows your name. The fees soften. Doors that were always locked have a person standing beside them, holding them open. The same institution that charged you $35 at the bottom now waives charges just to keep you. The fine print of this floor is the quiet rule that governs the whole staircase. The less you need them, the better they treat you. You are not a different person than you were at zero. You have simply finally become a different customer. Level 6, $1 million. The word you grew up thinking meant yachts and helicopters. It doesn't, not anymore. A millionaire today is a paid-off house, a healthy retirement account, and the freedom to stop working for a few years if everything went wrong at once. It is comfort. It is breathing room. It is not yet power. And here's the surprise waiting at the top of a number you chased your whole life. It's a floor, not a ceiling. It's where real wealth starts, not where it arrives. Most people who reach it never actually feel rich, because the moment they got here, the goalpost quietly stepped back. But don't let that steal the moment from you. The fine print of this floor, $1 million is freedom from worry, and that is worth more than the yacht ever was. Freedom from work is a different floor, higher up the stairs. But tonight, you get to stop worrying. That alone is a life most people are never given. Level 7, $10 million, 8 figures. And here's what finally stops hurting: the need to work. Invested simply, $10 million earns more in a single year than almost anyone you know makes at a full-time job. So the job becomes a choice, not a sentence. You stop reading price tags entirely. But watch how strange the math gets up here. On an ordinary bad day in the market, this much money can drop by more than you used to make in an entire year, and you feel nothing, because by the next week, it's already back. Losing a year's salary stops being a catastrophe and quietly becomes weather, and a new job appears in its place. Protecting it, your first real tax strategy, your first estate plan, the first person you pay whose entire job is guarding what you already have. And you notice the relationship has completely flipped. At the bottom of the staircase, the system took from you automatically before you could even blink. Up here, it sends advisors and asks how it can help. It is the exact same system that once overdrafted you for $4. It has simply changed the way it speaks to you now that you finally hold something it wants. Level 8, $100 million, 9 figures. And here's what stops hurting now. Thinking about money at all. You don't own things anymore. You own the things that own things. Companies, buildings, quiet slices of other people's businesses, earning while you sleep. And here's the part that breaks your brain. You could spend $1 million today, a number that would change most families forever. And by tonight, you would be richer than when you woke up, because what you own grew faster than you could ever spend it. A single ordinary day can move your net worth by more than the price of a mansion, up or down, and you find out about it in a meeting, not in your gut. Money has stopped being something you use and becomes something that simply happens to you, like the tide coming in. Below a certain line, money is a tool. You pick it up, you spend it, you put it down. Above that line, money is a current. You are no longer swimming in it. You're standing in it, and it moves entirely on its own. Level 9, $1 billion. And here is what finally stops hurting: the system itself. It cannot reach you anymore. Here is how far that goes. On a single bad day in the market, a billionaire can lose more money than most people will earn in their entire lifetime, in a matter of hours. And it changes absolutely nothing. Not the house, not the schedule, not one single meal. The loss is completely real and completely invisible at the same time. You could try to spend it, $100,000 a day every day, and it would refill faster than you could ever drain it. At this floor, you don't have a bank. The bank has you, and it is quietly afraid of losing you. You don't pay prices, you move them. The same institution that once took $35 from you at the bottom now builds an entire department whose only purpose is to keep you happy. You have climbed all the way out of the system that the rest of the world is still standing inside. So, look down for a second. Which step are you standing on right now? And remember that $35 fee from the very beginning, the one that could wreck your entire week at the bottom, and that the bank is afraid to charge you at the top. It never changed, not by a single cent. The system never changed either. Only your position inside it did. And that, in the end, is the one thing this entire ladder actually measures. Not money, leverage. Now here's the part almost everyone gets exactly backwards. They're sure the leap from $1 million to $10 million is the biggest jump on the whole staircase. They're wrong. And the reason why is hiding much closer to the bottom. That's the floor we climb next. Subscribe if you want to be there. This is the fine print.